I'm going to show how to trim a grapevine. This is actually a wild grape, but it should be the same for domestic. And the reason I'm going to trim this is because the vine is growing up over this cage is where I plant my vegetable garden. And it's growing up and it's going across the top and the sides and it's preventing sunlight from getting down to the ground to provide sunlight for my plants. So here's where the main trunk of the grapevine comes out of the ground, and then there's other branches that are going off into the vegetable garden, but then the rest of it is growing across this fence. And I trimmed this last year, did a major cut right here, and that thing dripped sap like crazy. But it then healed up and the plant grew really well, and it grew a lot last year on this garden cage. I'd taken all the vines down and they probably grew 10 or 12 feet last summer. It just went nuts. But I'm gonna trim these down so. Got a bunch of junctions here where branches going off different directions. And what I want to do is cut, actually take this one off. I don't want to cut real close to the main trunk. I want to stay out. There's a collar that goes around the main trunk and then this branch that comes out. I want to stay outside that collar and cut it off. And I'm using a bypass clipper. Bypass meaning this is the cutting blade. This part's not sharp. This blade goes past this blade and cuts it off. There's also an anvil style that this blade goes into or kind of comes down just to like this blade. This blade's wider. It's just like an anvil, but I haven't had very good luck with those. And I want the cleanest cuts I can possibly get so that then it can heal up and the plant will do well and not get diseased. Could get diseased, plant may die, then not good. So I'm going to trim off. Another one, again, staying outside that collar. And now I've got these are main ones that are going over to that garden cage. I'm going to stay out a ways there from the trunk. This one, cut here. And here is a branch that I'm going to end up cutting this, but when I'm trimming off longer branches, I have a bud right here. What I want to do is I want to go past it 1/4 of an inch and then cut it at a 45-degree angle. That will then stimulate this bud to grow out a new branch. If I cut out too far, this part of the branch, this may still be stimulated, but this part of the main branch may die and could get diseased. This way, if I have a nice clean cut, and this shouldn't heal up and be good. If I cut too close to this bud, then it may not stimulate, but 1/4 inch pass and a 45-degree angle. Been doing that for years and it's worked really well. Oh, let's see what other. I'm gonna trim up a few more of these and then get these off of the garden cage, and then it should let a lot of sunlight in this summer. And this is the end of the dormant season. It's the end of March in Minnesota, which it's officially spring, but we still have snow on the ground. But this is the best time to trim these plants. When they're dormant, there's no growth going on or things, but then as this wakes up, gets moisture, starts growing, these trim points will heal up and the plant should do well. Be sure and check out my other videos.